Someone's come to FORTNITE, and he's awfully slippery. Here's your look at the new Hasbro FORTNITE Victory Royale series, Ripley. Dripping dangerous, this 6-inch Ripley action figure shows the fan-favorite character outfit in game level detail, taking the on-shelf Battle Royale to the next level. Just before we get a closer look at the FORTNITE Victory Royale series Ripley, let me first thank the folks over at Hasbro that kindly provided this sample of the figure that we could have a look at in this review. Taking now my ruler and lining it up as close to the head of the figure as I can, the figure of Ripley stands at around 7 1/8 of an inch tall, or about 18 centimeters tall. On to the figure's accessories now, and the figure comes included with 3 of them. We'll start first with the thing that attaches onto the back of his torso. The figure comes included with a containment pack back bling. It's molded here all in black plastic except for down below. The containment part is done in translucent blue. We'll see a lot more of that when we look at the figure in a second. On the ends is painted in gunmetal gray, but it's a nice looking backpack. You can see a very long peg on the back that's going to fit onto the back of his torso. Grabbing the figure now of Ripley, spinning it around, you can see there's the hole on the back. We'll just take the peg, line it up, and we'll fit the backpack in place. The figure also comes included, maybe we'll look at this one next. The figure comes included with this sludge hammer and harvesting tool. It's not as see-through of a blue plastic as it would be for the figure or the containment back that we've already put on the back of his torso. It's more of a smokier blue. I guess the handle part of it is kind of more closer in coloring of the plastic as the figure, but like the head of the hammer is definitely a lot more frosted. And it looks like they probably have gone in there and painted it to give it that frosted look. The hammer can fit into either one of his hands. Let's just, for example, let's take this hand here. And being that it's fairly soft plastic, it's very easy to slide it into his hand. As for the other accessory, getting the figure to stand here for a second. There we go. He's a little back heavy, of course, because we just added that backpack. The last thing he comes included with is a shotgun. Shotgun, once again, is using that translucent blue plastic. In this case, though, the handle, as well as the bottom, as well as the top of the barrel, have all been painted in black. And again, you can take that and fit that into his hand. One thing that's good about the hands also, too, is that this one here, for example, has a trigger finger. I guess really this one does too, but this one's a little bit closer to looking like a trigger finger. We can go ahead and just slide. Now, if it helps you at all, the plastic at least is soft enough, but if you are having difficulty getting the accessories into his hand, you can either run a hairdryer. A few passes with the hairdryer will be fine, or you can also submerge the hand in hot water. And you can see there he is holding the shotgun in place. I don't know if necessarily I would decide to display Ripley with both the accessories in his hand. But you got to admit, though, I mean, he's ready. Hammer in one hand, like I said, the shotgun in the other. The figure does look really nice with them. Let's, for the time being, though, we're going to go ahead and take the backpack off because I know sooner or later it's just going to fall off anyways. Let's go ahead and just remove the sludge hammer, and we'll go ahead and remove as well the shotgun. Careful, one thing I should say probably as well, where the trigger would be, the little loop that's below it. Thin enough of a plastic it is that it's probably more likely to break if you're not careful. So just be careful when it comes to removing the shotgun from his hand. We'll just put that to the side for the time being. Getting a closer look at Ripley, what a great looking figure this is. He sort of is contained inside this suit. I don't know if it's actually energy or not, but it's certainly done all in this translucent plastic. What's neat, though, is that the top of the dome here, you can actually detach like that. Put it to the side, and you can actually see Ripley on the inside. Not only that, but the figure also does have posability, which I guess we rushed into quickly. We could have left that for later, but the figure does have a ball joint, so you can rotate that all the way around if you want to. So if you want to have the head turning, for example, before you put the dome back on, you can do that. And by the way, when you are putting it back in place, there's a kind of a little slot right here. You can see there's like a little indentation here, and the exact same thing sort of on the back there as well. See a little indentation. So providing you really line everything up and providing you have it facing the right way, you can easily snap that back into place and have them facing off to the side. Yeah, this translucent blue plastic does wonders for the figure. As a resulting of it as well, I noticed that it's smoother to the touch. You can still see the inner workings of the way the figure's been assembled, both the peg joints for the bicep, what we're going to be looking at in a second, as well as the elbow bend. It's there as well. And then over top of it, of course, they have painted in the colors for the suit that he wears, for example. So it's black here, nicely done. Some additional silver that's been added in there as well. Paint's pretty nicely painted on this piece, as well as some additional pockets down below. It doesn't seem like the pockets are painted, though. Rather, instead, it looks like they just sculpted them in the black plastic. It looks like he's got himself, I don't know if that's a gas canister, but he has that off to the side as well. It is a really nice design character. I've always kind of been a big fan of contained characters that kind of look like they're made of like plasma or they're made of slime. The lower end of his pants, for example, got some little decorative pieces on the sides of his belt, for example. I guess these serve as little pockets on the sides of his legs. One good thing is when we again talk about the articulation. I know we keep going back to the articulation on the figure, but at least when it comes to moving like the legs, for example, you may already see like these belts that are on the sides of his leg actually shift and move along with the articulation. It's a little more limited when it comes to moving it forward and back, but other than that, like I said, we'll talk about the articulation. I guess, why don't we do that right now? Let's go ahead, go back to the thing we talked about earlier. Of course, Ripley does have, again, the ball joint. You can move that up and down. Just one quick look at the head sculpt. If that doesn't put a smile on your face, I really don't know what does. A little tiny orb inside of a suit. Again, it does have a ball joint, so you can move that up and down. Quite a bit down as well. Up. And again, you can rotate it all the way around as well. Let's go ahead. I'm going to make that a little bit more straight. And then fit once again, making sure I got it going the right way. Snapping it back into place. When it comes to his arms hinge out at I would say about 90 degrees. That's what we all good with that? 90 degrees? Everybody agrees? 90 degrees? 90 degrees. How many more times? I can say 90 degrees. Arms rotate also all the way around. The figure has a bicep swivel. The figure also has a double hinge elbow. The only part that seems to be slightly different plastic is actually this part of the elbow right here. All the rest of it is using the translucent plastic. Right here, though, seems to be more of an opaque color. Same plastic color, but a little more opaque. But like I said, double hinge on the elbow. Hands rotate all the way around. And you can also move them back and forth. I feel like I keep slipping when I'm trying to hold on to this figure. Upper torso is on a crunch. You can bend that back and forth. He also has a lower waist ball joint. And then when we get to the legs, this is the only thing that's a little more limited on Ripley. Sure, yeah, you can move the legs out and you can give them almost a full splits. But where the limitation comes more so into play is when you're trying to move it back and forth this way. It really does feel like there's something fighting against it. Maybe the joints is still too tight. I don't really know, but definitely seems to be the case when I'm trying to move the legs forward and back this way, that there is definitely resistance happening here. I don't want to break those straps on the side that attaches the bottom of the leg area to the top that goes right actually underneath the pockets. I feel like that's going to happen if I keep doing this. Anyways, the figure does have a swivel. It's about maybe half the way, 3/4 of the way up the thigh. There's a swivel there. Figure has a double hinge on the knee. Figure also has a swivel in the boot. You can bring the feet of the boot up and down this way, and there's also a nice ankle pivot. And just in case you are curious, the figure doesn't have toe articulation, but he certainly does have peg holes in the undersides of his feet. Even though these figures don't come included with display stands, which kind of would have been nice if they could have included display stands that had maybe Victory Royale or even FORTNITE Victory Royale series just brandished across the top of the display stand. I think that would have been a nice touch as well, but still, fun figure. I'm not as much the expert, certainly, when it comes to FORTNITE, but I do like the designs of these characters in the game. And Ripley's pretty high on that list. I just kind of like the look of his suit. And then the idea that you can actually take off the top part of his suit to get access to his head, where you get that additional ball joint articulation. Really nice looking figure from the folks over at Hasbro. Displaying the figure with both shotgun and sludge hammer? Yeah, sure, why not? The figure comes included with both anyways, and both accessories are too cool to be leaving off of displaying the figure with anyways as he spins around on the rotisserie. Now, Hasbro was nice enough to send over a big media press box that we just did an unboxing for not too long ago, in fact. There was lots of different FORTNITE characters to choose from, and I had to go with this one first. This is probably going to be my favorite, even though it's probably too soon to say that. Ripley has a great design going for him, and the couple the fact as well that the figure has translucent blue plastic. We don't get times too often when we get figures that have translucent blue plastic or translucent plastic in general. This one has a good quality feel to the plastic that they've used, not to mention as well that you can take the top part of the suit off, and he actually does have a ball jointed head underneath all that. Nice work on the folks over at Hasbro. Again, a big thank you to the folks over at Hasbro that provide the sample of Ripley, as well as a bunch of other Fortnite Victory Royale series figures. I know we haven't covered off a lot of stuff Fortnite related here on this channel, but that will change. Not only are we going to be looking at here at Ripley, but we're going to be looking at a ton of new Fortnite Victory Royale series. So if that's the kind of thing that you guys are interested in, make sure that, yes, you're coming back to this channel, making sure that if you are new to this channel, that you're hitting that subscribe button down below, that you're turning on the bell notification, and that, yes, you're coming back, because we are going to be looking at Fortnite and a bunch of other stuff as well, because there's always new stuff that we're covering off here on this channel. Lots of stuff for you to feast your peepers on. So make sure, yes, you're coming back to this channel on a regular basis. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.